Let me take you somewhere, and there's something new. Where English is spoken so good, it's Diction Avenue, Diction Avenue. This is a word where English language is taught, the official language that everyone needs to learn. Set it right pronunciation and you use the right intonation. So express yourself. It's Diction Avenue, Diction Avenue.
Okay, welcome to the world with vision. They say a nation can perish without a vision. In Diction Avenue, we got a mission, vision to build tomorrow's future. Speak with good English, is our culture. We got qualified teachers, good facilities to
Good evening and welcome to today's edition of Diction Avenue, the program where you learn how to speak right, and sound English. My name is Abigail Anaba, and as usual on the show today we are going to be talking some very interesting English language-based conversation. We're going to be having an interesting English language-based conversation. Well, we're going to start off with our question for the day, and so if you have your phone handy, this is the part where you can answer the question of the day and have your answer read live on live television. Our question for today is: a piece of writing usually dealing with a single theme and indicated by a new line, indentation, or numbering is called, is it a paragraph, an introduction, or speech? A piece of writing usually dealing with a single theme and indicated by a new line, indentation, or numbering. Is it called a paragraph, an introduction, or a speech? Send your answer if you know what the answer is to 0805-584-9525. Do not forget to include your name and where you're texting us from. Remember that number is for text message only, 0805-584-9525. Well, earlier in the week it was World Teachers Day, and if you're a teacher you probably celebrated this, and if you're a student, did you give a few minutes thoughts to the work that teachers do? Well, Ecom asked people who had interesting stories to share about a teacher that touched their lives to send us what they feel about World Teachers Day and that teacher that has touched their life. And we got this response from Twitter, which I'm going to share with you now. For World Teachers Day, October 5 was the date, at Just Tadachi from Twitter sent us this very touching story of how a teacher touched her life. And I'm going to be reading that. If we can have that slide up. At Just Tadachi, Twitter said, "My grades dropped in primary 5. My eyesight was worsening and my parents didn't take it serious. Glasses was a fad among mates, so they thought I was lying each time I said I needed glasses. Mr. Ezerika noticed it and brought my desk closer to the blackboard. One day he showed up at my house and had a long talk with my mom. That evening I went for an eye test and got my first glasses with a tub of yeast. Yuck. He tutored me after school hours at home. On weekends, he refused to collect a dime from my parents. My grades improved." And that is just Tadachi sharing how her teacher touched her life. Has a teacher touched your life? Well, you should always celebrate teachers, but October 5 every year is when we celebrate teachers. So always spare thoughts for that teacher that did well in your life. We are going to be continuing our conversation on how to make public presentations. Remember, we have talked about how to choose a topic. We've also talked about introduction. Today we'll be discussing the body of your speech. Now, what should the body of your speech do? Usually, what the body of your speech does is it expands your speech, it sustains interest in your speech, it offers further explanation, statistics, or data to support your introductory comments. So that's what the speech does. And usually, people would ask, how long should my speech be? So that's it up there. It expands your speech, it sustains interest in your speech, it offers further explanations, statistics, and or data to support your introductory comments. That is the function of the body of the speech. But the issue that most people have with the body of the speech is that they ask, how long should it be? If I'm writing a speech that I'm supposed to present, how long should it be? Well, Africans usually speak at 100 to 120 words per minute. They speak English at 100 to 120 words per minute. So within that range, you could time yourself or just use that range and say, if it's a 5-minute speech and you're going to spend 4 minutes on body of the speech, that means you should write about 400 to 480 words, and you'll be able to deliver that in 5 minutes. So time your speech based on 100 to 120 words per minute. That's what you do. Then how should you write the body of the speech? What should be the content? Well, you should arrange the content of the body of your speech in paragraphs. Now, you may already know what a paragraph is. A paragraph is organized around a main theme, and paragraphs usually have a topic sentence and supporting sentences. That's how paragraphs work. Paragraphs have topic sentence and supporting sentences. The topic sentence is the first sentence that you usually write, and that contains the main point of the argument or of the conversation or of the speech. And then the supporting sentence provides data that would help clarify the topic sentence. So this is how you write the body of your speech. Remember, we've talked about arranging in paragraphs, and we said write a topic sentence and then the supporting sentences. The key thing to note about the body of your speech is how long it should be, how many words you should write to fit in with how long that speech should be. And if you do this, you'll be able to write a very good speech for delivery. Well, we're going to go to a new segment that we're introducing this quarter on Diction Avenue, and that is the reading segment. And what is the reading segment all about? We will be sharing a story with you, and then you could actually follow with the reading, or you could request that that reading be sent to you so that you could use it. So we're going to take the reading right away. Remember that I asked a question at the beginning of the program, and the question was, a piece of writing usually dealing with a single theme and indicated by a new line, indentation, or numbering. What is it called? Is it called A, a paragraph, B, an introduction, or C, a speech? Send your answer. Do not forget to include your name and where you're texting us from, and we'll be able to read the answer to your questions. I have a couple of answers coming in already, so keep it coming. But now we're going to take the reading, and the title of the reading we're taking today is Samba the Monkey. From tree to tree, happy about the sun shining up in the sky and the shade of the trees. If he hurries, he could reach the banana plantation, get some bananas, and be back before his mother gets home. He swung faster. The wind whooshed across his face with each swing, causing tears to run down his face. But he liked it. The thought of bananas at the end of the trail made him go, And so you can see the picture of Samba the monkey there, happily going from tree to tree. But you know you shouldn't be going to the banana plantation, the little voice told him. Samba's forehead creased for a second. He hated when the little voice spoke to him or tried to stop him from doing something he really wanted to do. He ignored the voice. But surely enough, His conscience popped right out of his head and buzzed around, repeating the warning. Don't go to the plantation. Obey your mother. Twack! Songa smacked his conscience in the forehead, giving it a bump. His conscience went silent. Songa continued the journey for the next couple of miles in silence. All he heard was the call of the birds from the distance and the whoosh of the wind on his face. Finally, he arrived at the banana plantation. He perched on the fence and looked at the ripe bananas. All he had to do was swing to the one nearest to the fence and be gone before the farmer noticed. Songa looked around. There was no one about. He swung off the fence and landed on the farm. He looked round again, still no one about. He walked over to the banana tree and reached out for the ripe bananas. Just as his finger touched the banana, he felt something heavy fall over him. He had been caught in a trap. The end. And that is the story of Songa the monkey. I'm sure you would have learned something from that story about being obedient. Well, if you would like that story sent to you, please do send us an email on admin@ecom.ng and we will send the story to you. And today on Diction Avenue, we have been discussing how to continue with your public speaking, and we've been discussing public speaking tips. We have a question which came in for Mr. Benga Peters of Little Light Schools. I'm checking if we have a few minutes to take the answer to that question. His question was on clarifying the short I sound. He said he wants clarity with the short I sound. And I did produce a chart, or I have a chart on the Ask Anything English, which has a clarification to that question. Well, I hardly have time to take that question today, but I can tell you, Mr. Peters, that the answer to your question is that the short I sound has the sound A. Not E as most people will say, but A. A as you have in the word Sheyi, the Yoruba name Sheyi, or the Hausa name Husseini, or even the Igbo word Dede. A, that's the short I sound. If you follow the vowel quadrilateral, A is between the sound E and E. So if you glide from E to E, you will definitely pass through A. E. That's the shortest way for you to know the sound. The sound for the short I sound is A. And that's all we can take on the Avenue today. It was a really, really short one today. Next week is another date for you to keep with us. We will have this full program coming back to you, and we will have fun, as we usually do on the Avenue when we do come back next week. My name is Abigail Anaba. Thanks for being with me this week.
Ecom.ng, 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 Ecom.ng.
Your Spoken English website, powered by Institute of Certified Communicators. Visit www.ecom.ng and subscribe for your spoken English updates now. Your accent is your asset.
Let me take you somewhere, and there's something new. Why English is spoken so good. It's Diction Avenue, Diction Avenue. This is a word where English language is taught, the official language that everyone needs to learn. Set it right pronunciation and use the right intonation. So express yourself. It's Diction Avenue, Diction Avenue.
Okay, wake up to the world with vision. They say a nation can perish without the vision. In Diction Avenue, we got a mission, vision to build tomorrow's future. Speak with good English is our culture. We got qualified teachers, good facilities to build confidence in our students. Don't be told, come witness a treasure you can't measure. Welcome to the world.
And there's something new. Why English is